Hello everyone. Today we're going to explore what you need to do to avoid losing your U.S. citizenship rights if you're retired and living abroad. You could lose part or even all of your rights as a U.S. citizen even if you've never broken the law or renounced your nationality. It may sound impossible, but it's the truth. Every year, thousands of Americans are restricted or stripped of rights they believed were permanent: the right to vote, visa-free entry, consular protection, Social Security benefits. Not because they betrayed their country, but because they unintentionally violated little-known regulations, missed mandatory obligations, or simply retired in another country. If you believe citizenship is forever, if you're living abroad or planning to leave the U.S. and think the passport in your pocket is a shield that protects you at all times, this video is for you. We'll uncover 5 legal reasons you could lose your citizenship rights, 5 serious consequences no one tells you about, and 5 immediate steps you must take now to safeguard your status. This isn't a threat. It's information almost no one will tell you, but you need to know before it's too late. Ask yourself, is your citizenship record truly intact? Before we dive into the details, set aside your anxiety for a moment. This isn't bad news meant to keep you up at night. It's a vital warning, so you can proactively protect yourself. If you're watching this, chances are you've been away from the U.S. for years. You trust that your government records are complete, that your citizenship cannot be touched. But pause and ask yourself, is your citizenship record truly complete, valid, and secure? It only takes one signature on a document you didn't read carefully, missed obligation, or even accepting an honorary position in your host country without reporting it for you to lose rights you once thought were guaranteed. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to discover Top 10 US for more important information. The top 5 reasons why U.S. citizens, especially those living long-term or retired abroad, lose or have their citizenship rights restricted. The danger is that many people don't realize it until the moment they need those rights, only to find they no longer have them. Reason 1. Legal actions. Indicating preference for another nationality. The U.S. allows dual citizenship, but if you sign a document sometimes as part of a citizenship oath to another country that contains language suggesting you renounce or diminish your U.S. citizenship, the law may treat it as a voluntary relinquishment. Example: a man becomes a Canadian citizen to buy property, but in a French language oath, he unintentionally pledges to renounce all rights and obligations to other nations. A year later, when he tries to return to the U.S. to care for his sick mother, he is detained at the airport because records show he voluntarily limited his U.S. citizenship rights. Reason 2. Accepting certain positions or duties in another country. If you hold an official position in a foreign government or military without reporting it or obtaining permission, it may be interpreted as a shift in allegiance. Example: a retired teacher in South America is invited to serve as an honorary council member in the city hall. It seems purely symbolic, but during a political data audit, she is flagged for review and has some of her citizenship rights temporarily suspended. Reason 3. Failing to meet federal tax obligations for multiple years. New. The U.S. taxes based on citizenship, not just residency. If you fail to file federal tax returns for several consecutive years, your record can be classified as that of a non-compliant citizen. Consequences may include restrictions on passport renewal or even passport revocation. Example: a businessman living in Asia for 8 years fails to file taxes. When he applies to renew his passport to attend his son's wedding in the U.S., he is denied because his name appears on the IRS's seriously delinquent taxpayers list. Reason 4. Fraud or false statements in citizenship-related records. This applies not only to the naturalization process, but also when registering to vote, applying for a passport, or requesting federal benefits. If discovered, you could lose certain rights, such as voting or passport privileges. Example: a person uses a fake U.S. address to keep voting despite having permanently moved abroad. When discovered, the state revokes their voting rights and reports the violation to federal authorities. Reason 5. Conviction of certain serious crimes abroad. Although being convicted abroad doesn't automatically strip you of citizenship if the offense involves security threats, terrorism, or major fraud, the U.S. may restrict or suspend certain rights, particularly your passport and preferential entry rights. Example: an American in Europe is convicted of large-scale money laundering. Even after serving their sentence, the State Department refuses to issue a new passport, citing national security risk. When citizenship rights are lost or restricted, you're not just losing a passport or a ballot. You're losing a layer of legal protection and safety that once came with your name. For those living abroad, every lost right leaves a gap that's hard to fill. And of course, when U.S. citizenship rights are stripped away, we face a host of serious consequences. 1. Loss of priority entry rights. Without the entry privileges of a citizen, you must apply for a visa like any other foreign national. That visa can be denied without a specific reason. Example: you're living in Spain when you hear your daughter in California has given birth. You immediately book a flight, but at the airport, a visa officer says, "Sorry, you need an invitation letter and must wait for approval. The door that was once wide open to you is now shut." 2. Loss of voting rights and political voice. Once your voting rights are gone, you become a spectator in the very system that was once yours. Every new policy, every decision affecting your family in the U.S., you can only watch from afar. A former veteran living in Panama once said, "I served my country for 20 years, but now I can't vote for the next president. It feels like I've been erased from my own homeland story." 3. Loss of federal benefits. Social Security, Medicare, and certain other federal benefits may be reduced or withdrawn if you no longer meet citizenship requirements. For retirees living abroad, this can mean losing a primary source of income and health care coverage, especially when you need to return to the U.S. for treatment. Loss of the right to hold and renew a valid passport. A passport is both your travel document and proof of citizenship. If renewal is denied or it is revoked, you will face difficulties traveling internationally and even re-entering the U.S. Some have had to wait months for resolution when their citizenship rights were on hold due to legal disputes or unresolved obligations. 5. Loss of full consular protection. Normally, U.S. citizens in trouble abroad can receive legal, medical, or emergency evacuation assistance from the embassy or consulate. But when your citizenship rights are restricted, that support can be reduced or denied entirely. This can leave you to face crises alone, from wrongful detention to political unrest or natural disasters. Citizenship rights do not automatically maintain themselves just because you hold citizenship. Just like a passport needs renewal, your citizenship rights must be preserved and reinforced. Here are 5 actions you can start today to ensure your rights are never lost or restricted. 1. Regularly review your citizenship records. Few people know you can request a review of your citizenship information from the U.S. Department of State or your state's election office. Doing this can help you detect early if your rights are flagged as restricted or under review. 2. Maintain tax obligations and file on time. Even if your income is low or exempt due to a tax treaty, you should still file an annual return to maintain a citizenship footprint in the IRS system. This is especially critical if you've been living abroad for many years. 3. Be cautious when applying for a second citizenship or signing foreign legal documents. Always read documents carefully and translate them fully if needed. Avoid signing anything that states you renounce or limit your U.S. citizenship unless that's your true intention. If unsure, consult an attorney beforehand. 4. Report before accepting any position or duty in a foreign government. Even if it's just an honorary or volunteer title, notify the U.S. Embassy/Consulate to prevent it from being interpreted as a change of allegiance or relinquishment of rights. 5. Renew your passport and keep your contact information updated with the Embassy/Consulate. Don't let your passport expire for too long. Update your address, phone number, and email whenever you change residence abroad. This ensures you remain visible in the system and receive important notices regarding your citizenship rights. You don't need to break the law to lose your citizenship rights. All it takes is a little complacency, a little distance from information, and enough time, and the most important thing you have can quietly slip away. For retirees living abroad, this risk is even higher. You follow U.S. news and law changes less often. You assume the rights you have are automatic and cannot be taken away. You join community activities, sign documents, or accept honorary titles without considering the legal impact. Language and cultural differences cause you to overlook key wording in legal documents. Any of these can become evidence for U.S. authorities to interpret as you voluntarily limiting or relinquishing your rights. Not knowing the law is not an excuse. One careless signature, one oath in a foreign language, or one missed tax obligation is enough to cost you the rights you spent a lifetime obtaining. You don't need to live in fear, but you do need to live proactively. If you are retired or living long-term abroad, remember these 4 key principles to protect all your citizenship rights. Understand the laws and conditions for maintaining citizenship rights. Laws change over time. Never sign any document that renounces your rights unless you truly intend to. Be cautious with political or public positions in your host country. Even an honorary title or community council role can be interpreted as a shift in allegiance. 3. Maintain contact and updated information with U.S. consular authorities. Your address, phone number, and email should always be current so they can reach you if needed. 4. Consult an attorney whenever you have doubts. Early legal advice can prevent a risk before it becomes a costly consequence. Citizenship is a living contract, not a lifetime promise. It lasts only as long as you maintain and protect it. You spent years becoming a U.S. citizen, whether by birthright, through the naturalization process, or decades of contribution and connection. Don't let one careless signature, one forgotten obligation, or one seemingly harmless act turn it into a locked-away memory. If you're living abroad, take action today. Review your citizenship records. Renew your passport and update your contact details. Reassess your tax and legal obligations. Seek legal advice if you have any uncertainty. Citizenship is not something that exists by default. It is the most important legal asset and political protection you have, and you are the only one who can keep it intact. If this information has made you realize something important, click like to share it with the U.S. expat community. Comment, I will protect my citizenship rights as your personal commitment. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest alerts and guidance on citizenship, immigration, and safe living abroad.